And we're live. Hey everybody, welcome into the Flippin' Hippos YouTube channel. I'm Star the Flippin' Hippo. Just trying to make sure that I have everything muted, which I probably don't. Welcome in everyone. Today is Tuesday, September 15th. So we're about halfway through September now, which means we have about 2 weeks left until Q4, which is like the best time of the year for all resellers. If you guys hear somebody being murdered in the background, the kids next door are outside playing, and they're screaming and yelling and doing as kids do. So no one's being murdered in our basement or anything if you hear it. It's pretty loud to me. Hey, Greg. Hey, Elizabeth, Rags, Christian. First time ever in front of a computer. That's right. You normally watch when you're driving or listen when you're driving. Ivy, Tammy, hey everybody, welcome in. So with 2 weeks left to Q4, I want to kind of talk about getting rid of some of the poop in your store. Hey, thanks for the 99-cent super chat with the poop face. I love it. So I want to talk about doing some clearances and doing some sales to get rid of some of the poop in your store so that when you go into Q4 in 2 weeks, you have less poop and more good stuff. But we're also going to talk about strategies on when to lower your prices, when to run your sales. I've had a lot of requests and messages and requests just this year, all the time. People want to know what my method is. How do I know when to mark stuff down? How do I put stuff on sale? When do I know how to clearance it? And I actually do have a system, and I'm going to share that with you. I've kind of not done it before because it seems so convoluted when I try to say it out loud. I think because I'm OCD, a lot of times when I do things, I make them way more complicated than they need to be. I have to have, steps 1 through 23, and every step has a sub-step, and it's all organized and it's all neat and it makes sense in my head. But then when I try to explain it to other people, it's like so convoluted, and it's like, geez, I made this so complicated. So every time I sat down to do a pre-recorded show to talk about how I do sales and clearances and auctions and stuff, I'm like, this is so complicated, and it makes me sound like a crazy person. But I'm going to share it with you tonight. We'll just do it. We'll do it all. So we're going to talk about how to get rid of poop, how to do your sales, and then I'm going to tell you my methods at the end. And all of this is still in preparation for Q4. We've got 2 weeks left. When you go into Q4, you want to have really good stuff in your store. You don't want stuff in there that's going to drag you down on the algorithms. And you want to start increasing your traffic now in the next 2 weeks, because the more traffic you have, number one, more eyeballs, more buyers. But number two, it can actually increase your visibility in the searches because your store and your items all look more desirable to Cassini. We're going to get into all of that. I'm going to look through the chat again and say hi to some people and announce the winners from the giveaway, and then we'll just jump on in. Hi, Johanka. I hope I said that right. Lucille, Thrifty Space Queen. A Mother's Den from California. Is it Pame or Pame? Beth. Perfect timing. Yes, the poop. Robert here. Guys, say hi to Robert. He's there with the blue wrench. He's one of the moderators. You guys know Robert. I like my details are so crazy though. Every time I do anything in life, it's like I've overcomplicated it. It's what I need for my brain though. Hi, Pamela and Ellendale from Vegas, and Swimmerization is here. So we hit we hit 3,000 subscribers. No, we hit 7,000 subscribers last week, which is a very monumental moment for us. And in celebration of that, I did a giveaway in the Facebook group. By the way, if you're not in our Facebook group, it's called Flippin' Hippos Reseller Pod. Free to join. There's a link down below. It's a really great group to be a part of. A lot of really great people in there. We do daily interactive posts. We have a lot of fun. We do stuff that's off topic, like we're in the break room at work. We talk about other stuff other than reselling, but you can learn a lot about reselling in there. And you don't want to miss out on any new videos and giveaways and things that I do. You should really be in the group. I'm checking the announcements. Noman Frogger here. Hey guys, Bill and Dave, welcome in. No, 7,000 subscribers. I almost said 3,000. We have 7. So I did draw the winners and made the announcement post in the Facebook group just before I went live tonight. And the 3 winners are Leslie Massa, Rita Sharp, and Maria Fisher. So congratulations to the 3 of them. If you're watching this video, make sure that you send an email to flippinhipposhelp@gmail.com with your preference for your prize, and you can see the post in the group for more details. Cooking dinner and listening to your show. All right, guys, why do we want to run sales in our eBay stores? Because it boosts your visibility. Number 1 reason. eBay gives listings with certain things a boost in the algorithm. They use Cassini, if you're not familiar. If you are, just bear with me while I repeat what you already know real quick. Cassini is the name of the algorithm, or like the system, the robot mind that eBay uses in the background to decide which things go up and which things go down, suppressed, or pushed up in the search results when buyers search for something specifically. A lot of the things that give you a boost are things that I talk about all the time. Free shipping, best offers, having a sale on your items, using that markdown manager. That gives you a boost. Just by having a sale on, your item is getting pushed up in the results. That is why it is so super important, and why I do it, to mark your items high. Price your stuff high, 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 and give yourself some room so that you can have sales running in your store 24 hours a day. We talked a little bit about this in last week's live show. You should never have a time where your store is not on sale. Your store should be on sale 24 hours a day, but your sale should be stopping and ending. When they're too long, when they're indefinite, you're not creating any sense of urgency. So if a buyer sees that you have something and that the sale doesn't end for 2 weeks, I'll come back. And then they don't come back. They forget. So you want them to look at it and be like, oh, this sale ends tomorrow. This sale ends in a day, in a couple hours. And they get that sense of urgency that I have to buy it now before that sale ends. But you should have sales on all the time to give yourselves that boost in the searches. And that's why it's important to price high. If everyone is selling their silver jeans for $35, I want 40 or 45 for mine. So mine are going to go up for 50. So I have room for best offers, but I'm still going to put them at $62.50. So when they go 20% off on my sale, now they're at $49.99. I put them at $62.49. So the sale puts them at $49.99, and now I have wiggle room all the way down to $35 or $40 on best offers if I want. But you want to have those sales on. It does give you a boost in the searches, and it plays with the psychology of your buyers. They're getting a deal, and they have that sense of urgency. It does increase your traffic as well. The more your items are getting pushed up in the searches, the more folks are coming to look at your stuff. That's more traffic. If you're running good sales, 20, 25% off, that'll increase your traffic because those are more enticing than 10 or 15% off. And if you have clearance, or you run your clearance auctions, which we're going to talk about at the end of the video, that'll increase a lot of your traffic too. You want to have a lot of traffic coming into your store. When a lot of people are looking at your stuff, Cassini sees your store and your items as desirable. All these people are coming to see these items. All these people keep coming to this store. They must have stuff that people want. So let's give their stuff a boost. Let's push it up in the searches. And more traffic obviously also always means more buyers. The more people are looking at your stuff, the more chance you have of selling it. If 3 people see your Minnie Mouse, you might sell it. But if 30 people see your Minnie Mouse, you're probably more likely to sell it. And auctions are probably one of the best ways to clearance crap or poop out of your store very quickly. At least make your money back, if not a little bit of profit. And then you get a lot of traffic from them. And we're going to go into a lot more detail about them at the end. I want to talk a little bit about why you want to clear the poop out of your store and how it can hurt you in your impressions, and how that can affect how Cassini sees you. Because a lot of traffic is a good thing. A lot of traffic is a really good thing. But if you have too much traffic and not enough action, or people clicking and leaving impressions or actually buying your items, that can actually hurt you in the long run. So it's like a fine line that you want to walk. Tons and tons of traffic and your sales increase with the traffic, that's good. Lots of people are coming to your store. Cassini sees your things as desirable. These people are actually clicking through and buying your items. Yeah, they're desirable. People want them. But if you're getting a ton of traffic and a ton of people looky-loos and looking at your stuff and your sales don't increase with your increased traffic, then your stuff looks like crap to Cassini. Does that make sense? If you have like a huge increase of people looking at your stuff, but no one's buying, no one's clicking, they're not leaving those impressions, then what Cassini or the algorithm thinks is, why are hundreds of people coming here to look at this stuff, but no one buys it? Probably means that stuff's not desirable and nobody wants to buy it. So it's a very thin line, and that's why it's important to keep an eye on your really long tail stuff. I kind of talked about this last week too, when I mentioned if your stuff is 6 to 9 months old and it hasn't sold yet, it's time to look at it. It's time to take a really hard look at it. Is it something you can clearance out? Is it something that maybe you just need to pull and redonate? Is it something you can put on sale? Can you fix the title? Can you fix the keywords? Can you do that a little bit better? Can you take better photos? Can you do something to make those items move? Because if you don't have enough sales or click-throughs to justify the amount of traffic, you can actually get suppressed in the searches. It's a very fine line. Greg says, have you noticed increased sales when cross-listing from eBay to wherever? I think the process of LP opening up a listing is almost like editing it and gives you a boost. No, I think it does, actually. A lot of times when I'm cross-posting to Posh or Macari or Grailed or wherever, a lot of times when I'm in the process of cross-posting, I'll get offers on the items that I'm currently working on cross-posting, or like right after I cross-post, some of them will sell. You could be right. I actually do open them up though and put in the SKU line where I put them. So it does help. I think when you touch them in any way, it looks like you're editing, and then that gives it a boost. So yes, we 100% of the time have a sale going on in our store. And we also have best offers on everything. And I also send out offers and accept them. And that is why I price so high. And that is why I preach to price high. Again, I'll use the silver jeans as an example. But if you see that they're comping from 35 to 40 bucks, you want to go high. You want to put yours at 50. That gives you $10 room for best offers, right? Now, if you want to run sales too, put them up for $62.49 or $62.50. Run your 20% off. Now they're 50 bucks, and you've still got room for your offers. You have to price high so that you have this wiggle room. And I know it's really hard for a lot of sellers to wrap their minds around that because they're so scared to price high. I don't know why, but people seem to be kind of scared to price high, thinking they won't ever get a sale. But if you have a sale on 24 hours a day, your silver jeans are never really going to be listed at $62.50, except for maybe the first hour or two right after you list them. I did mention last week, I do have a video on the channel. You can look for it if you need it. How to set up sales to get your new items. So you can set your sales up to grab newly listed items. So if you have a sale set from Monday through Wednesday, anything you list Tuesday and Wednesday, that sale will grab it and pull it right in. You can set it up to do that automatically. And it usually takes, I don't think there's any real time, because I've seen my new items go on sale in an hour, and I've seen them take 2 to 3 hours. I think it's just whenever like the system updates or refreshes itself, it grabs those new items and puts them in the sale. But you can set it up to do that. And then the worst thing that's going to happen to you guys is it's going to sell at the higher price. And that has happened to us a lot. I'll list a pair of silver jeans at $62.50, and somebody will buy them at that much, which is always really exciting. Or they'll send me an offer of like 50, and I'm like, well, shoot, I was willing to go down to 40 or 45 on an offer when the sale hit, put it down to 50. So I'm going to take 50, right? That's the worst thing that can happen. I don't understand why people are so scared to price high. And I honestly, here's some truth for you guys. I don't know if this is really tough love, but I think it's some honesty. I think that the mentality of eBay sellers is a little bit different than the mentality of Poshmark sellers. And I think that's the difference. If you post on Poshmark a lot or list over there and you're used to selling over there, you have a different mindset. Posh sellers just tend to price things ridiculously high, knowing that you're going to have to do offers to get it to sell anyway at 20 or 30% off. They pay the shipping, they pay more money. People pay more money over there. Their buyers have a different mentality than eBay buyers also, and they're willing to pay up. They know that Miss Me jeans are still worth $50. eBay buyers seem to think that because you can go to the Goodwill and get them for $6, that you should be able to get them for $6 on eBay. So I think it's just like a different mentality. But once you get past that fear and you get used to it and you know, hey, you know what? I'm going to be running a 20% off sale. I'm going to have best offers on these. It'll be okay. I can list it at this high because it's going to be okay. You just have to get past that initial fear or hesitation that people have to price high. But you should absolutely be running sales all the time. And the one thing I hear from people the most is, I can't run sales. I can't afford it. Why not? Why aren't you pricing stuff higher? Why aren't you giving yourself the wiggle room you need? And that's the mentality of the Poshmark mind, I think. If I want $50 for something on Poshmark, I'm pricing it at $75 because I know between offers and everything, I'll get what I want. It can deter people who shop by price, but if your stuff is worth the price it's worth, and you know that, and you're willing to sit on it to wait for the right price, then you should still be pricing high. I think that I'm about to say something that a lot of people will say is probably a pretty popular opinion. Folks on eBay who cause the most problems and the most issues are typically the ones that buy the cheaper items. I think that's a common thing. I think that folks on eBay who think they're shopping at a garage sale or, a yard sale or whatever, and they buy a $12 shirt, I feel like those are the people that give us the most problems in the long run. Buyers who know their brands and know their Robert Graham and their Eileen Fisher, and they know their silver and their Miss Me, and they're going to pay $50, $60 for something, you're going to see less problems from them because they're familiar with the brands. They know what they're worth. And I just feel like, unfortunately, and I don't want it to come off as rude or anything, but I really feel like cheap buyers, the people who buy the cheaper things that spend the less amount of money, are the ones that you get the most problems with in the long run. But the other thing is, and I've said this before, so if you've heard me say this before, sorry guys, I'm going to repeat myself, but a lot of times it's a perceived value as well. So I will comp something. I don't even have anything to put up as an example near me, but let's say I was going to go list Hannah, the little pink hippo behind me. And I saw that a lot of folks had her up for 10 free shipping, and a couple people had her at like 15 or 16. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to put mine up for 16 or 18. There's a perceived value in your item. So sometimes buyers will come along and see that there's a couple items here for $10 and yours is 18. And then they will automatically think, well, what's wrong with these two that are $10? There's got to be something wrong with those. Why are they so cheap? And they will pass them up and buy yours at the higher dollar amount because they perceive more value in your item. They see it as being worth more money, and they automatically, for some reason, think something's wrong with the stuff that's priced lower. And, if you know what you're doing and you're taking really good photographs, you guys, with really good lighting, your front photo, the one that's showing in the listing first, if that's a really, really good picture, and the rest of your pictures are good, you're filling out all your item specifics, you have a good description, you're following the best practices, the formula for the title that you're supposed to be following, and you have really good keywords. If you're doing all of that, you can really back up having a higher price. Absolutely. And then you will have that perceived value, and someone will buy your stuff over other people's. And it happens to me all the time. I list stuff higher fully expecting, I'm going to have to wait for these other 4 Mickey Mouses to sell before mine will, because mine's more expensive, but mine will sell within a couple of days or a couple of weeks before the other ones, because it looks like it has more value. I have better pictures typically, or I have better keywords, whatever. I think the only person you're hurting is yourself when you're not pricing high, because then you're not giving yourself the room you need to do these things that allow you to get better search results. You're not getting that boost from having sales. You're not getting that boost from having best offers on. Yeah. So Robert says he always has more problems with the cheap items. I think that is something that's common that I hear all the time. Kim says it has taken me a serious spreadsheet to mark up my inventory and run sales. Otherwise, who knows what I was doing. Cheap items sit the longest. Price goes up, they sell. There's that perceived value. So when I get full price for something, I think I've priced too high, then I get worried they won't think it's worth that. And they wouldn't have bought it, I don't think, if they didn't think it was worth it. I mean, eBay has thousands and thousands of turds on there who are selling stuff for the fast nickel and racing to the bottom. I don't think a buyer is going to spend the money on something they don't think is worth it. And I mean, they might get it and think that it wasn't worth it, but then that's just buyer's remorse. I don't know. I don't worry about that, because I got to make a living. I got to pay my bills. I got to have more money for more capital to buy more inventory to reinvest in the business. I put it up for what I perceive it's worth. And then hopefully I've backed that up with my pictures and my keywords and my titles. So you want to make sure that you're clearing out your poop periodically, so that you're keeping the amount of traffic you have consistent with the amount of click-throughs or sales that you're having. You can typically tell what is your poop just from experience. So if you're new to reselling, and everyone does this in the beginning, we did it, Casey did it, Robert probably did it. When you're new to reselling, you buy everything. You don't know what you're doing. You don't know crap. You're just like, I'm going to buy everything because it's all 50 cents, or it's all 99 cents, or it's all half off. And you bring it home and you post it. And 6 months later, a year later, you've watched a couple more YouTube videos. You've been more active in Facebook groups, and you've learned a little bit, like, that was really a brand I shouldn't have got. So sometimes just with experience and time and research, you'll find out on your own that these are items I never should have sourced, and you can clearance them out, get rid of them. If it's been 6 months or more, unless it's something that's serious long tail, just take a look at it. If it's good enough that you think it should be in your store, figure out what else is going on. The number one thing I see when I do store reviews is the titles. And I talk about them all the time, and I have videos about it, so I don't understand why people still aren't doing it. But there is a specific formula to follow for your titles. And eBay themselves came out and gave this formula to us at eBay Open and said, use this formula. This is the formula that Cassini's algorithm looks for to give you a boost in the searches. So yeah, you can kind of tell your poop just by learning. If it's been sitting longer than you think it should, check your pictures, check your keywords, check your title. Popular keywords are definitely important, but they need to be crammed at the end because you need to be following that formula. The formula goes brand, what it is, gender, size, keywords. And your keywords should be most important to least important. So if you were to have Miss Me, jeans, women, size 26, to me, I think most important is the cut of the jeans over the rise. I feel like more people are going to be searching for skinny, boot cut, flare. So that would go, right after the size. Then I would put the rise. Then I would put the wash. Then denim. And you can follow that formula for plush too. You just take out the size and the gender. So you would put Disney, Star Wars, Luke Skywalker, 10-inch plush, lightsaber, Return of the Jedi, whatever. Just cram your keywords in there. But make sure you're following that formula. That is the number one thing I always say whenever someone pays me to do a store review. The first thing I always notice is your titles are wrong, usually, and the photos. And that's the two things that people should be improving on. I still buy everything. Yeah, you do. Posh has race to the bottom turds too. I think the problem with Poshmark is not so much that it's sellers being turds, but I think Poshmark attracts young college girls who are just selling their clothes for some extra money, and they don't understand that some of us do this as a business. They're just trying to sell their stuff off for beer money or whatever. All right, so your sales should be running around the clock. You should have a sale going all the time. It should be at least 20%. I personally feel like 10 and 15% is not desirable. It's not attractive. It's not exciting. And I know I used this in my live show last week, but we're going to use it again. If I went to the mall and Hot Topic and Spencer's were right next to each other, and they're very similar stores with all the Halloween stuff, if one of them was having a 15% off sale and one of them was having a 30% off or 25% off sale, I'm probably only going to go into the store with the 25% off and spend my money. It could have been that everything comes out to be the same exact price at the end of the day after tax and everything, but I didn't even go look in the store with the 15% off because that wasn't enticing enough. I want to go in the store with the 25% off, and I'm going to spend my money in there. And I may have spent the same amount of money that I would have spent over there. I don't know, but you just got to attract people. So you want to have at least 20% off. You want to give yourself room for that. You want them to be walking. Geez, where did that word come from? Running is the word I meant. You want your sales to be walking. You want your sales to be running for like 2 days. And then about half an hour in between, half an hour to an hour to give the system time to reset itself. So the way mine run, they go from Sunday evening at 6:30 until Wednesday evening at 6:30, 20% off the entire store. Grabs all the new stuff we list. Wednesday, 7 p.m. until Friday at 6 p.m., 20% off. And then Friday at 6:30 through Sunday at 6:30, 25% off. Sometimes if Monday's a holiday, like a Labor Day or a Memorial Day, I will go ahead and let that sale run from Friday through Monday night and then just have my new sale start from Monday to Wednesday. So your clearance and your auctions, we're going to talk a little bit about that. I see them as two different things. So what I do, now you know how my sales are run. As far as clearance, I have two categories in my store. You know how you can have, your categories, women's tops, boys jeans, all that. I have two of them. One's called Clearance Hut and one is called Denim Deals. I've set up a sale that only includes items in Denim Deals and only includes items in Clearance Hut. You can set up, these aren't like the slash through markdown 20% off, 25% off. The sales where you could say buy two, get one free or whatever. I have one set up that only pulls from the Clearance Hut category, and it is buy two, get one free because it's stuff I'm trying to get rid of. So everything on my Clearance Hut is $9.99 or it's $12.49, and then it goes 20% off. It's $9.99, and then it's free ship, buyer pays return, and then if they buy two, they get one free because I'm just trying to get rid of it. My Denim Deals are jeans that I've let go down to $9, $11.24 before the sale, and then it's like $8.99, and then I have $8 shipping on them and buyer pays return shipping. And those are like buy one, get one half off. So they could get two pairs of jeans basically for 12 plus 16 plus the shipping. So that's how I do the clearance. Now, how does it end up in clearance? Well, you know how I tell you guys every day that you should be going into your back end on your seller hub. Whatever's going to end within the next 24 hours, you should be manually ending and bulk sell similar back into your store. That gives those items an increased chance of selling and being boosted in the searches. When you let the good till cancel, just keep rolling your stuff over and over and over. That stuff just keeps going further and further and further down the algorithm and the searches because they're getting old and now they're not desirable. Does that make sense? So if pick one time a day, I usually sit down around 10 a.m., 10:30 every single day. And anything that's going to end within the next 24 hours, I manually end. Then I go into the unsold where they go, and I bulk sell similar. with a few exceptions. See, this is where it gets so convoluted. I don't know why I make things so hard. 1 month, I only focus on lowering the prices of hard goods, and 1 month I do clothes. So if you didn't want to lower your prices every month, you don't have to. I do clothes. I'm working on clothes in September, and then in October I'll work in hard goods. I still end everything and bulk sell some more to put it back in because it treats it as a new listing and shoots it right up the searches for you. But as far as farting around with the prices, I do clothes every other month, and I go 5%. So I'll just bulk the clothes and sell similar, and you can bulk edit 5% down, put them back in. But before I do that, I just double check. If something's close enough to $12.49, which is where I want it to be to go to clearance, because then it'll be $9.99 on sale. If it's like a $13.74 or less around there, I know that once I lower the 5%, it's going to be close enough. So those things, I will lower the price to $12.49, put them in that category. So those ones, I kind of have to do one by one. But really, I only ever see 2 or 3 a day at most. And then I double check the jeans for the same thing. So if the jeans are close enough to my lowest price, and you decide what your lowest price is. Your lowest price may not be like the same as mine. You may not have the same cost of goods as me. You may not feel like that's a bargain. You may want to go $7.99. I don't know what you want to do, but you got to figure out your lowest price. And each day when you're ending your listings and you're looking at them, if they're close enough to that, you can throw them in this folder, this category. And then I give them a month. If they don't sell within a month on clearance, then I throw them into auction. And that's where you're really almost just giving stuff away to break even on your price, maybe make $1 or $2. And you're doing it to increase traffic. You're doing it to increase eyeballs. You're doing it to help sell your other stuff. It's kind of like a loss leader, if you guys have ever heard of a loss leader. So you have to decide what is the absolute bottom line for you that you would let stuff go for. And for us, jeans are completely different than shirts and t-shirts and stuff, because jeans cost more to ship. So if it's a first class item and I want to auction it and get rid of it, and I know I paid 99 cents or less for it in wholesale, I put it up on auction for 99 cents with $7.50 shipping. Buyer pays return shipping always. And then when they sell, they're $8.50. So we might break even or make $1. The alternative is to just pull it out of your store, redonate it back to Goodwill, and keep track of how much of this you're redonating back throughout the year, and then you can take it as a write-off. I don't personally like doing that, because if you're only in February or March and you're pulling, a couple things a week out and donating them, you got to wait all the way until the next year when you file your taxes to take the write-off and get your money back. If you're doing the auction, you're breaking even right now. You may even be making $1 or $2 extra, but you're getting that money right now. You're not waiting 10 months for a write-off. You're not waiting for a tax return. You're getting that money now, but you're also getting the extra traffic and the extra eyeballs into your store, which is so super important. Thank you so much for the super chat, Ivy, $9.99. She says, thank you so much for all the great advice. This is something I needed help with as I am still learning. Thank you so much. Robert says, leave my 10% sales alone. Do you put vintage as the first word of your title if it's vintage? Brittany, that's a good question, and it depends on how important I think that it is vintage. If it's a vintage plush, then yes. Sometimes I put it later. It just depends. I try to put my keywords how I think in my head, most important to least important. So it depends on how important it is to me for people to know that it's vintage. Does that make sense? $30 for Lucky Brand on Poshmark. Yeah, that's about right. J. Kerr does really well over there too, and I don't see that doing that well on eBay anymore. So yeah, this is why I do clearance and auctions. If I see something's getting just low enough in price that I'm just willing to throw it up for $9.99, free ship, buy 2, get 1 free, bye. They usually sell. They usually don't even make it to auction. But if they've been sitting there for a month, they're going to auction. 99 cents, $7.50 ship. It's $8.50 total out the door. I'm not waiting for a tax write-off. I'm not waiting for, in any case, your write-offs just go against what you owe. When you sell it on eBay, you're getting that money now, and you can use it to reinvest in your business. Even if it's only a couple bucks a month, like I said, let's say you send 5 things to auction a month. That's $5. I don't know what your cost of goods is, but for us, that's 5 new items. For you, that might be 1 new item, but you can get more inventory. I always like having the money now, and the traffic. It really helps the traffic. I just look at them as loss leaders. Now, as far as jeans go, like I said, they go into the denim deals. I think it's buy one, get one half off, or even only 25% off in there because they're heavier. When they've been in there for a month and they don't sell, I do put jeans on auction as well, but I start them at $3.99 and $8 shipping so that they're at $12. And we usually make $1. We usually make our 99 cents back and then $1 in addition. So your auctions aren't to make money. They literally are there just to clear stuff out. You're just clearancing it out. You're getting rid of it. You don't want it anymore. You want to break even and get your money back so you can reinvest it in something better. I usually only let things go to auction 2 or 3 times, and then it's done. Because if it's let's say it started its lifetime at $20 in your store, and you were lowering the price by 5% every month or every other month until it was finally $9.99 free ship, sat there for a month, still didn't sell, then you put it on auction. If it doesn't sell by like the second time or third week that you try it on auction, probably it's a poopy item. You kind of probably just need to pull and redonate. Because if it hasn't sold by then, I don't know what to tell you. It's probably something you're going to have to redonate and wait for the tax write-off. What I'll do sometimes is I'll really take a hard look at it because it's really hard for me to just redonate stuff. I want to sell stuff, but sometimes it is the photos or the keywords or the title. So maybe you can pull it if it didn't sell in auction and take better photographs and list it better and start all over again if that's what you want to do, or you can donate it. But if you're not into clearancing stuff out or running auctions, you're going to have to start getting yourself into the mindset of pulling stuff out of your store and redonating it. If you don't want to do clearance and auctions, you're going to have to do something, because if you don't get the stuff that's been sitting around for a long time to move, you're running into the situation that I talked about where your traffic is not the same as your impressions and your click-throughs and your sell-throughs. So now you're going to get your entire store, every single item can be pushed down in the algorithm, because Cassini will see your store as undesirable if you keep getting just tons of traffic and no sell-through rate on the back end. So you have to decide for yourself. Some people don't want to mess with clearance, don't want to mess with auctions. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of money. That's fine if that's your mindset, but you got to pull it out of your store. You got to redonate it, keep track of it, use it as a tax write-off. Personally, I like to give things a second and third chance. I like the money in hand now. I like to increase traffic, the eyeballs. A lot of times we'll have one buyer do like 4 or 5 of our auctions when we have a whole bunch going. I think I only have like 2 going up tonight, but there's been times where I've had 20 or 30 when I was like really clearancing stuff out. I've had buyers come in and like bid on 5 and 6 things, and then you can put them all in one box. You've made a little bit of money. So just decide what your lowest point is. Make sure your shipping doesn't get too high. I found like $7.50 and $8 is like the sweet spot that you can put on the auctions, and people won't really balk at that too much. My store doesn't include donate back or clearance if it's in my store for life, so come and buy it. I used to really have that mindset. I did. And then probably about a year ago, about a year ago, because last October we went to Florida to visit Casey, and Sydney went, and we were talking about all this, and I had Robert's mindset. It's in my store. It's going to stay there forever. But then, I was kind of talking with Casey about the traffic and the sell-through rate and all that. And so when we came home, we took out like 100 or 200 items that were just poop, and we just put them all in clearance and auctions, and our sales increased, like overall. So by letting go of that stuff, it kind of like really did work on the back end of our stuff looking more desirable to Cassini and getting a boost in searches. Just food for thought. Robert does really well for himself, though, so whatever he's doing is clearly working for him. But you could always make more money, too. You can always do a little bit better. So, you guys, that's really all I have for you. Kiki Rocks, welcome in. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, go ahead and put them over here now, and I'll try to get to you before we leave. Doesn't have to be about tonight's topic, but if you have questions about clearance or anything, sales, put them over there. But you can ask me about anything. It's time for AMA. So go ahead and put them over there, and while you do that, I'm going to quickly go right back down, just a refresher of what I do, because it's so, like, why does everything have to be, why do I have to make everything so difficult? Because I'm OCD. So every day I end stuff that's going to end in 24 hours. I go into the unsolds and I bulk put that stuff back in, 5% off. Clothing, hard goods, I do a little different. I usually just like $1 or $2 off instead of a percentage. When the price is getting low enough to justify it, first class goes into a clearance category, $9.99 free ship, $12.49 though, so I have room for sales. And then the denim will go into a denim deal category for $11.25, $8 ship. Give them a month. If they don't sell there, they go to auction. And then if they don't sell an auction, they're out. They're goodbye. So we can always clearance our plush by sending them to Robert. Swamp Picker, I haven't seen you in a while. Welcome in. Good to see you. So plush, see, with hard goods, I guess I should specify. A lot of what I'm talking about tonight, the clearancing, the auctioning, the pulling stuff out of the store to redonate it, is mostly for clothes and anything like that that's oversaturated. Hard goods is a little bit different of a story. I will sit on hard goods a lot longer. I will be more patient with hard goods before I lower prices on them. Hard goods aren't as saturated as clothing. It's just not. And plush is long tail, like super long tail. Like plush is more long tail than clothing any day of the week. And you're looking at 6 months plus for most of your plush to even sell. So I don't even really lower prices on my plush until it's been around for 6 months. So if I put up a Pooh Bear in December for $20, it's going to be May of the following year before I knock them down to like 18 or 19. I don't lower the prices as often. I'm willing to sit on it longer, especially with like your really super expensive hard goods and your plush and like your specialty coffee mugs, things that you're waiting for the right person to come along to get it. You're going to have to sit for a while because there are some plush that are worth 60 and 80 and $100, but you're waiting for the one adult in the whole world who's willing to spend 60, 80, $100 on a toy. So, yeah, just be a little bit more patient with your plush and your hard goods. I wouldn't be so fast to start knocking prices down on those or clearancing them or pulling them and redonating them. They take longer to sell. You're waiting for the right person. More folks are online looking to buy used shoes, used jeans, used shirts, dresses, than they are the hard goods. You're waiting for that right person to come along at the right time. So just be a little bit more patient, especially with your plush friends. Plush are very, very long tail. Plush is more long tail than men's ties. It is. Yes, Rags, exactly. And your prices should never be exactly what you want to get because you want to have room for offers too. So you need to push your prices up so that you have room for offers and to put stuff on sale. Yeah, Robert has a lot of patience. And, Megan Mawini does also. She doesn't clearance anything out either. She's admitted to me she has stuff that she clearly knows is poop that she bought when she started that she never should have, but she'll sit on it till it sells because she wants to sell it. And that used to be my mindset, and if it works for you, it works for you. But like I said, I kept getting questions and messages from folks. How do you know when to clearance something? How do your auctions work? How do you do your sales? And so that's how I do it. A jumbo size Serta sheep. Oh yeah, that should take a little while to sell, but it will, but you're waiting for the right person. Some of it can be really fast. It just depends, like what kind of collectors your hard goods are aiming at. Like any of the video game plush that I've ever listed, really expensive video game plush, they typically move fast. But you know, your World of Warcraft nerds are willing to spend $60 on an orc plush. And they're probably online looking for that stuff a little bit more than like your vintage Disney collector, whatever you have. Anyways, guys, I've kept you for about 45 minutes. I sold a Nautica plush in 3 weeks. I've sold plush within an hour of listing it, and then I've had the same exact plush take 6 to 9 months. That's why I keep saying I feel like you're just waiting for that right person at the right time. Because I've had some, I think they were Angry Bird plushes that I listed. They sold 3 or 4 times that I listed them before they even hit the sale. So they sold for like more than full price. And then I've had some I've had to sit on. But I mean, that happens with jeans and stuff too. I've sold jeans overnight, and then I'll have the same exact brand and style, and they take months. So yeah, I don't even pay attention to watchers, honestly. He's my reason. The reason being is if it just keeps rolling over, it's an older item and it starts to look less desirable to Cassini, so it's not getting pushed up in the searches as high. If you end it and sell similar on it, you make it a brand new listing, so it gets pushed way up, like it was a brand new item. And if it's been listed for 30 days and you have watchers on it and they haven't made a move yet, like I send out offers all the time, several times a day. I check. If I have watchers on the items, I send out the offers. If they haven't made a move in 30 days, they're probably not going to buy it, especially if I've been sending offers. And I kind of feel like sometimes your watchers are other sellers trying to see if you're going to sell it for what you have it listed at, or they're just watching it to learn or something. Watchers equal stalkers. So, yeah, the only reason I would pay attention to watchers is just the fact that if you have watchers, then you have, you can send out offers. You're welcome, Summarization. All right, guys, I'm going to let you guys go because it's been a little over half an hour, and I said I was going to try to keep these shows a little bit not as long for you guys. Join the Facebook group if you haven't already. Facebook is Flippin' Hippos Reseller Pod. There's a link down below. Free to join. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up before you leave. It really, really helps the channel. And if you haven't subscribed already, please do so. Make sure you hit the little bell so you're notified when I put out new content. I will be coming out with our What Sold on eBay video tomorrow. I know I usually do it on Mondays, but it'll be out tomorrow, a little late this week. And thank you so much for watching, guys. Go be productive. Go make some money. I'll see you next time. Y'all are the best. Bye.